What's up, dudes and dudettes? Give me just a second. Apparently I popped up an incognito window. I apparently had Google Chrome as my active window. Alright, let me flip over the screen. And welcome back to Rocket Design by a Stoner, I guess. Notification sent? Well, that's cool. I didn't get one. I'm glad you got a notification and I didn't. Let me pop it up. I assume the stream's working if you already got a notification, but I always would like to pop it up and make sure. Not to mention it makes it easier. Well, that was weird. What? 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 Okay. I clicked on the new stream and it brought me to a stream from 3 days ago. Okay, Google, YouTube, whichever. Somebody's fucking up. Alright, so today we're going to continue with the rocket design bullshit, but a little bit of a nice little reprieve. I've got a little bit of weed today. Last night I hit up my buddy for some weed, and let me turn down my audio a little bit so I'm not quite as distracted. I hit up my buddy for some weed, and he's going to get it for me today, and he also dropped me off a gram just to hold me over until I actually can get some more today, which is pretty fucking cool. I mean, I was already out, so it didn't matter, but I mean, the thought was nice. So I have about 2 bowls left. Hello, Buckwild. I'm gonna smoke the bowls, probably one now and maybe one in an hour or so. And we'll see how this goes. But I have a little bit of weed to smoke. Buckwild, smoke! I'm gonna try to conserve it. I don't know exactly when I'm getting weed tonight. I think it's gonna be probably later, around 8 or 9 p.m. Which means these 2 bowls of weed need to last me until then, and it's only 5, so you can't stay long, but you thought you'd stop and say, "Aw, man, I can't smoke with you today." That sucks, but that's cool. I appreciate you dropping by. There's my lighter. Let's do this, and then I guess we'll start on rocket design again. Be right back. Nice. Alright, so as you can tell, we finished a little bit from yesterday. Yesterday we hadn't even done any of the landing leg stuff yet. None of these pieces were complete yet. We just finished the thrust vectoring plates. Damn, that bowl's good. My tongue is already feeling like it's covered. Man. Alright, I'm gonna start stumbling all over my words. Something I didn't do on stream last night, I made these little thrust vectoring pins. I don't know if I'm going to end up making these out of wood or plastic or anything. Let me crack open my Dr. Pepper. That cotton mouth is going to get me. Sweet. Alright, so I don't know if I'm going to print these or if I'm going to use them, like, make them out of wood or what. But I figured this would be a good starting point. I put 2 little screw holes in there if we wanted to use it, and they would end up mounting to the outside of our brackets up here. That will go straight into those and hold them steady, theoretically. The only concern I'm having is that if I 3D print these, I'm going to have to print them vertically, aka with this face right here facing down. And if I do that, it means that there's going to be very little strength in this tube portion right here, because it's going to be like 400 vertical layers rather than 50 or 60. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. We'll have to look into it. Hello, Jack. But today, we're going to finish off these landing legs. We're going to try to get the pistons, and I can actually show you what I'm talking about here. Right here. So these are the landing legs I'm working on. This is in the top right of the screen as well. But I'm trying to get the black piston that you see there, and then the light blue piston that you see on the top. Those are hydraulic pistons that one of them gets pulled open and the other one gets compressed. The one going from right here to right here gets compressed, theoretically. And then the one going from this point to this point will actually expand. Don't know how well this is all going to work yet. I'm trying to design it as close as I possibly can to the grasshopper. Oh, and I guess I can show this off too. Is my camera still active? It is. Weird. The chair just like jumped. Give me a second. Well, bam! The first part has officially been finished. And it is insanely strong. Like, it is very, very dense. No issues with that. I really like this new part. This is the bottommost piece because it actually is tall enough to be the bottommost piece. Most of the other pieces will be about double this height. Actually, a little bit over double this height. It can be about 8 inches tall, and we're going to have 6 of those. But this will work for the bottom, and it's insanely strong. Made me very happy to have that work. Let me flip over the cam again. I hope you guys could actually hear me while I was standing right there, but who knows? Let's do this. Right as the amazing music starts. So I assume, let me just hide this so it's not in our face the whole time. I assume I can pretty much copy this, but make it smaller. Alright, let's just start. Before I overthink this, run up through here. Nope. Clicked in the wrong place. If I could get it to lock to the center. You have to have it... Come on. It has to be purple and locked in the center. There we go. If it's not purple, then it's not gonna be perpendicular or whatever to, or parallel in that case, to that particular edge. Perpendicular and parallel show up purple, pink, I believe. And then red, green, blue, those are all your axes. Not exactly sure if there are... Oh, there's a blue. I think that's a... Crap, a tangent line? I'm not even certain. There's a bunch of different colors that pop up, and you need to be able to recognize them. I'm slowly getting back into it. Where is... Right here. Make it purple. There we go. On top of that, and then... Works for me. Go back up, make it exactly 90 degrees. If I'm being honest, it doesn't really matter if I start with that one. Okay, I'm gonna move over then. Talking to myself a little bit, but it's okay. That's gonna be a lot of these streams, just me talking to myself. And it looks like tonight might be a little bit of a slow one. So at the center, it is indeedy. 90, thank you. Pop this up. How far out do I want this to go? Probably half inch. We'll see what it looks like. Yeah, these are going to be pulling, so I think that'll work. We're going to try to make these look like pistons, but in all honesty, I'm probably going to use springs. I'm going to use compressible springs in the top, and then some way of pulling on the spring from the bottom, which really isn't that hard. I just need to figure out the model itself. Actually, the pulling one could be square. That would make it a lot easier. I think I'm going to make this one square. Talking to myself a lot, but it is perfectly okay. That is exactly how I have to get all of this done. Grab another protractor tool. A little bit of a pain in the butt to try to get that right there, but it's alright. Give me the center again. Give me 90 degrees. If I can find it. There we go. And put this on. I guess I could hide this part too to make it easier, but I kind of want it there. Online and nope, what? Constrained to the line, please. Thank you. Is this gonna make a square? It does. So I correctly did that. Let's take this inner line, delete it, and make this thing bigger. Copy the whole piece and duplicate it. It seems like today is going to be an exceptionally slow stream. Notifications got sent out for some people, but not for others. But it's cool. Tonight's going to be a slow as hell stream anyways. You figuring out your ship, Primordialism? I know you were still working on that. And how has your day been, Jack? Assuming you're still here. I have a feeling Buckwild already left because he had something to do today. Now, do I want to put this... I could have it as a cylinder, I just don't know if I want to. I think, hold on. I'm just thinking of myself right here as to how this would work. Spring-wise, it would work. If I had a tension spring here that it was pulling against, that would work. But I think I'm not gonna like the way it ends up being modeled. Like, do they actually have that as a pull, or is that being pushed? I can't tell. Physics-wise, as the weight pushes down on that, the top bar should be pushing in, which would mean that that piston should be pulled out. This black piston is what I'm talking about on the far right. It should be a hydraulic cylinder being pulled out, creating a vacuum. Okay, I'm just going to continue with my current thought. I just don't like the way it's set up. Oops. Don't mean to click on that. Like here, raise all these up. And we're golden. The reason I did that is so that I can delete these lines and treat this as a solid plane. Do we want to have this as the hollow portion, or... I don't know exactly how I want this to work. It's convenient that is almost perfectly angled. Holy shit, how did I do that? Wow! I was, okay. That was a guess. Should I'm gonna put this one on first. This is what I've been doing all day, is trying to figure out exactly how I'm supposed to model out this piston and the landing legs. The landing legs make sense for, you know, a multi-ton vehicle or something, but not really for something that's going to weigh 20 pounds. It is way over-engineered. Let's just do a 1/4 inch, and then we have to center that out, take out the lovely hole. I cannot believe that was so well lined up. That's not me patting myself on the back. That's just a complete and total fluke. I don't know how I did that. That's crazy. Sorry, still just thinking to myself. That's just... I'm looking at this going, whenever this leg right here goes, I can even do it. Whenever this leg goes up like that, it should force these things in because it's held to them. By pushing that in and the way the angle this is at, it's not able to go up. It's not physically able to compress that spring. And if I make those plastic pieces perfectly interlap and be a little bit too large, I can actually pre-tension that spring with those plastic, the cylinder, quote-unquote. Talking to myself a lot here, but I'm trying to figure out exactly how the fuck I'm gonna do this. This gets crazier every time you look at it, indeed. Just wait, by the end of the stream, it's gonna get way crazier. Okay, so let me grab... I think what I'll do is work with a cylinder. I didn't want to, but I'm going to. I'm trying to think what the worst... Nope. If I have a cylinder, it's not going to be able to print. Okay, cool. I had to think about it. All of this stuff I have to think about on multiple levels. How it's going to work in real life, how it's going to print, how I'm going to be able to remodel it to print. Like, there's a lot of different things I'm going to have to do. We're going to have to stick with a square tube cylinder. Okay, that's fine. I've been debating back and forth for the past, like, 10 minutes on that. I finally figured it out. Don't need to do that yet. I need to get the 90 degrees set up first. This one, I'm not even going to try to do what I did on the others. That, like I said, that's amazing. I have not done that all day. And I've been doing this all day. 90 degrees. How far out do we want this thing? At least half an inch. Got it. So let's say 0.625. Works for me. Yes, because blue is going to be a correct axis to use. Sweet. Let's get rid of that inner line and extend this surface. Or not. That's fun. It broke the line up. It was a solid curve. Now it's not. There we go. Now extrude the surface. Bam! Rotate this thing. How are you doing today, Williv? It seems like today is going to be an exceptionally slow stream. They're midpoint and pointed at that midpoint. You know what? I'm going to get these lined up perfectly. There we go, midpoint and group. They're close, but they're not perfect. Let me re-angle this one. I'm doing pretty darn good. I'm really exhausted, but that's just due to my own mistake from last night. I ended up staying up way too late doing this shit. Okay, so how do I want to actually connect these springs? I assume... I know how I'm going to do it. Alright, let's do some form of hook on this. I'm not exactly sure how. It'd even work with just a arc of some form. So it's going to be a pain in the ass to... Fuck. Alright, let me find the center. How wide is this thing? Half an inch? Then let's bring that over. If I want the center hook to be about 1/4 inch to an 1/8, and let's say an 1/8 inch, would leave me with 3/8, so I'd have to have 3/16 on either side. So much bullshit. /16. That is not the type of math that you want to be doing while you're high. Do 3/16, and that should leave me with that 8. It did indeed. Now I really just need a curve from it, so I'll go from that and go up. Perfect. Let's say, fuck. 1/4 or an 1/8 of an inch again. Maybe an 1/8 by 1/4. This is going to be interesting to see if I can make it work. Oh, actually, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I think I just had a better idea. Indeed. Okay, so my piston's gonna be a little bit backwards, but it's still gonna work the same way. These... yeah, I don't even need. Okay, cool. Let me figure out how the fuck I'm gonna do this, though. Let me bring the edges in. Where's the edge line? Set it. Offset. There we go. Offset you in by 1/8 of an inch, please. Shit, 1/16 of an inch, please. I just need a shell. We'll extend this out. Almost to where it touches it. Actually, if it touches it, it's not gonna hurt it. It'd actually help. I think that's what I'll do. All bueno. Now those are still not perfect, as you can tell. That might have been the way I lined it up. That might have been a lot of different things, but those are not perfect. Use C-can, I assume? I don't know. Let's just keep that the way it is. It's weird that those lines perfectly touch, but the ones on top don't. I think I might have misclicked. Let me see if I can move that line and make it match up. That's just a simple problem there. Yeah. Good. Okay. Just realized that was gonna be a problem. Shit. Shit. Control Z. Shoot. Let's grab from you. Escape, please. Escape, please. Thank you. From you, 1/8 of an inch. That's too far, 1/16 of an inch. That works for me. Oh, I love this song. I couldn't even tell what was playing. Line it up with this lovely dot. If I can get it to... It doesn't want to. Son of Beach. Weird. Oh, it's not perfect. Interesting. Or is that just the way it's anti-aliasing? It's not perfect. Okay, well, let's just get it close. It's fine, because these are just supposed to slide into each other. Let's say 0.95. That works good enough for me. I might need to make that smaller, actually. Might want to make it fit the same piston. How big is this before we make it just look ridiculous? This is 1/2 an inch. Got it. I believe this is also 1/2 an inch, right? No. Midpoint go over 1/4, 0.25. And there's my 1/2 inch line. No idea if that's going to be accurate or not. Is that the distance I want it to be? 1/2 inch? 1/2 inch? Cool. 1/2 inch? 1/2 inch. Sweet. That's exactly what I needed. Now is going to be interesting to turn this into a cylinder. Well, square tube. What is the line distance here? Okay. So 1/16 of an inch. Let's take these. Take these. And perfect. You feel like you do this for more than just a hobby? This is just a hobby, then wow, why are you so good? I'm not. I suck at this. I've done it before, but it's not like I'm really good at anything here. Grab that, grab these. Are you not on that? Interesting. Why are you not on that edge? Oh. That line was just... okay. Yeah. Oh, my bad. Like I was just saying, I'm not good at this. It takes me so much to talk through it and get it good. But that's okay. It means I will slowly but surely figure this thing out and make it look reasonable. Please be on the actual... there we go. 1/16. You tried to make a tree in Blender, but you ended up deleting it. A tree is pretty hard. Those natural things are not very easy to do. Oh, what? There we go. 0.95, and that should produce enough of a hollow shaft that I don't have to worry about it. Sweet. Now this is where I probably need to either rotate this whole thing, and I think that's exactly what I'm going to do to make this easy on myself. Oops. Grab the center point, grab that, rotate it up a little bit. This doesn't edit anything because it's not changing any of my groupings. And then go on down here. Oh, wait, the way I wanted to do that, I might not be able to. I was going to run still will work. I just have to put the post in a very specific place. Okay, so let me put the post. I take that back. It's still not going to work because the post is going to get in the way of the other piston unless the other piston's not that long. And I guess the other piston doesn't have to be that long. I'm talking to myself a lot here. I just have to figure out how the fuck I want to do this. Okay, let's bring the line in here. First things first, deselect. Grab this, bring it up by 1/4 of an inch. That almost seems too tall. Stay on that line, find the midpoint, give me a 1/8 inch maybe? Oh wait, 1/16, 1/8 inch thick. Cool. But I feel like that's too far. Oh well. What's the depth that I have here that I can push this piston to? Basically 5/8. Got it. Is that an empty... Ooh, I just found a problem. I didn't realize that was a hole. Can you please fill yourself in? Thank you. Grab you, rotate you. Actually, for the moment, I think I'm good. Let's make group because you are your own piece, and I can rotate you down later. Let's delete all of these lovely guides because they're getting a little crazy. Hey, Moontoy, welcome back. It's doing pretty damn good. How about yourself? We're working on the landing gear, as you can tell, and the compressor springs on it. How big of a hole... Ooh, I didn't think about that. How big of a hole do I have in here now? Less than a ½ inch. Wonder how I'm gonna want to do that then. This is gonna get very, very small. That's 3/8 right there, right? Three-eighths of an inch. Really? At that point, I don't think we're gonna be able to put a spring in there. Shit. Ah, what a bitch. Wonder then, how could I fix this? Just the direction that I've chose. I'm really wondering here because I could have small springs. Like you can get small 8 inch or 1/8 inch and 1/4 inch and stuff like that. It's just if I have a 1/4 inch spring in this thing, that's tiny. I mean, that's damn tiny. And that might be all of the room I have because we're gonna pull an 1/8 inch out of this just from wall depth, which means we're gonna end up with a 1/4 inch total in the center, which means this actually needs to be a lot bigger. Okay, so let's bring that back down real quick. Alright, cool. Back to where we were, and let me fix this thing because it's got broke again. It looks weird because how small the parts are around it, but that piston actually has to be a lot bigger than it is. So let's extend this. Let's make it square. This is what I've been doing all day, is every time I get something modeled, I'm like, that would work, but in real life it's too small. We have to completely redo that. So that's 1 inch, and this is a 1/2 inch, I assume? It is. So let's bring this up by a 1/4 inch on either side. Extend edge by 0.25. I'm not going to deal with doing that. Just extend the edge, please. There we go. Extend edge 0.25. And connect those lovely things. .25. I knew there was going to be a problem with that, just looking at it. It was just not going to work. I don't think I can delete those until I make this thing slightly bigger. So let's bring this up by 1/8 of an inch, or a 1/16 of an inch. It really doesn't freaking matter. As long as it is now a 3D object, let's turn this into the same plane. Like so, and now I can actually have a relatively good sized piston. Where's my line again? Offset by by 1/16 again. Sweet. Bring this up by, is it 3/4 or can I still get that 0.95 out of it? I think I'll be able to, so let's just do the 0.95. Nope. .9 is about as far as I can physically push that, but that is good enough for me. Let's grab all of this, actually turn it into a group so I don't have to worry about it. I don't want it to intersect with another object and then have to have a serious fight to get it to come off. Like so. Angle up just a bit so I can see inside you. Cool. Took a little bit of redesign, but that's alright. 1, 6. Really, we don't need it that high off the ground. If I do 3 seconds here. No, hold on. I need to do 3/16, not 3 seconds. Good job on my brain. 3/16, and then I do a constrain to that line, put it on the midpoint, do a 0.125 or an 1/8 inch bar. That works perfect. Drag you down like so. Sweet. That's exactly what I want. That is our first piston. Delete those guides. Even though it's square, it's perfectly fine. That is the one that gets pulled on. These lines are gonna drive me nuts. It's fine if they're on the inside, but I'm gonna have to rip them off the outside. It's just gonna make me go insane. Alright. Now, that should be a 7/8 by 7/8 hole, if I did my math correctly. Indeed. So, we can use either a 7/8 or we could give it a little bit of wobble. I think we might give it a little bit like a 1/16 inch of wobble. Make your own group, double click on it. Ah, you see? Those lines are different sizes. Okay, let's fix that first, because that's going to be an issue. I'm going to bring it back, because it doesn't necessarily need to be that tall. Do 90 degrees, and bring that line back to where it's within reason. Perfect. All good. Got that square again. Now, how big is this thing? It is 1/2 inch, so it's already reasonably large. If I offset from this, can I make another square? I'm sure I could. I just don't know offset. Damn it. I can indeed. Alright, so it's a 1/2 inch. We need to turn it into not 7/8, but preferably like a 1/16 of an inch under that. So, good lord. That'd be 14/16, so 13/16 is what I need this to be. And if we're at a 1/2 inch right now, oh, my brain's not gonna work right now. 1/2 inch, so we need to increase it by 1/16, so it means 1/32. Pretty sure that's correct. Let's see if that's accurate. That's just over 1/2 inch. That's a, yes, that's 1/16 inch over 1/2 inch. But no, that's, damn it. I didn't do the math right. I thought I did, but I did not. I am too stupid. You love the notification you definitely got? Yep, I knew it was going to be a bad stream today, Fun Bun, because, like, no one got it. Am I making progress? Indeed. And it's looking good. How did the piece finish present? Oh, you want to see the piece? I can actually show you right now. I still have the camera set up, so boom. This is the piece from, let me move my mic a little bit so you can still hear me. This is the piece from our first test print, and I mean, it is damn sturdy. It looks really good. I don't know if you can actually see through, angle it properly. I can't. My brain doesn't work. There we go. If I could get this thing to work. Like, I'm looking over to my right side trying to get this on my left side to work. It's not easy. Everything in this is perfect. Like, the lines, this thing is damn good. And I have the next one printing. Very, very shortly, we'll have another piece. Well, I say very shortly. It'll be in like 2 days. Flip back over the camera. My math was terrible. Okay, so if we're at 1/2 inch right now, that's 8/16. Why did I think 12/16? Wow, good job. That's 8/16. In order to get from 8/16 seconds offset on each side, oh my god, this math. 5:30 seconds? Yes, that's big enough. My brain. Let me double check. This should be just under 0.81. What is... Yes, that's perfect. Because 0.875 is 7/8. Perfect. Bring this out by maybe 1/16. Do that one too, and then turn this into a solid plane. I could have done that a lot easier than rather one at a time. Is it just me or did the stream die? Yeah, I think your internet died. I was about to say, I hope not, because I haven't dropped any frames. I'm doing just fine. But the stream is kind of dead tonight, if you're asking. Alright, so that is our outer wall. Let's now turn that offset again. Where are you at? We need this offset to be a 1/16 of an inch. That's not a 1/16 of an inch. There we go. And we want this to be... how long? I think it was just under... under like 1/2 inch or something like that. Let me double check. Indeed. We'll do 5.5 inches just to push it. We want those to pretty much be locked. Like, we don't want it to go any lower than that. Or higher than that, sorry. We don't want that spring to compress this so much that this joint actually turns the other way. If it turns the other way, it completely breaks the whole point of this. It's actually better if we pre-tension this spring by making this piece a little bit too long for this piece so that it automatically extends it. So, with that being said, maybe we'll just push it to like 0.6. Nah, we'll go 5.5. I won't push it that far. It doesn't really matter that much. Push pull 0.55, not 5.5. That's a very big difference. Man. Fuck it. 0.65. I keep debating myself and finally I just fuck it. This is gonna be hard to print. Is there any? Yes. Okay, good. I'm gonna have to extend one of these sides on this. I can't. Oh, that's... yeah, crap. I have a problem printing this object now. There's no way I can physically print this object without an overhang. I could make it larger? I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. Let me take these lines. This is what I've been dealing with literally all fucking day. Trying to make something that I'm modeling legitimately work in real life. Make another one for me. There we go. By doing that, it'll allow it to have that overhang without it being too much right at the beginning, if that makes sense. Control Z, because I fucked that up. Now, if I print it from... let me see if I can get my camera... no, I'm not going to get my camera angle to change properly from this. But if I print it with this side right here being down, then I can slowly work into this angle right here. Because this angle was going to be a major problem. If it was just flat like it was, then it would have to produce that entire top plane with no support underneath it. And now this technically acts as a support. It's just going to look a little weird, but that's okay. I say it looks a little weird. It honestly doesn't. If we take these lines out and make it look coplanar, it actually makes it look like a more legit part. It just adds structure. That part's not correct. Get that fixed very quickly. It actually makes it look a lot more legit. Nice. I'll take that. Now, our bar in here has to be from the bottom in order to make this actually print. What was my other... I had some math worked out for this. If I have a 1/4 inch bar and I want an 1/8 inch above it, it's going to be 8 inch, 8 inch. Oh, no, I wanted 3/16. There we go. I wanted a 1/16 inch above it. All bueno. Adhere to that line, please. Midpoint, give me my 1/8 inch bar. And we have successfully made a piston. Probably not the best piston in the world, but a square piston nonetheless. I wonder if I should try to get these to work perfectly. Why not? Let me angle... I say that and I immediately don't want to do it. If I got these lined up perfectly, it would just be a pain in the ass. Can you not find the center? There we go. We get as close to the center as possible. Just like so. And that's how our piston's gonna work. Exactly like that. And both of those parts are printable. This one... Oh, wait, nope, that one's not printable either. We're gonna have to edit that. Aha! There'd be an overhang from that side if I have that in that direction. I have to flip this bar, which is gonna be a little bit of an interesting ordeal. I take that back. That was remarkably easy. Move this up 3/16 and get my 1/8 inch bar back. Perfect. Anything? Oh, I still need to angle these out. We're gonna have to do all of this one manually. This is gonna suck, but that's okay. Get those angled first, then get these angled. I have to make that into a hollow object, otherwise it's gonna be a problem. Sweet. I'll have to reverse that face because that's inaccurate. I assume it's going to fill it in again. It did. Well, that was already there, so I knew it was going to fill it in. Do this on both sides, and our pistons are officially done. And they're big enough to where they would legitimately work. That was a primary concern that I had. Like so, grab you, and now start filling this in. can even make it coplanar again. Cloplanar. I'm not even that high. I take that back. I'm actually very, very stoned, but I'm within reason, clearly, because I'm making AutoCAD right now. AutoCAD parts are not exactly easy to do. Reverse face. I don't think I deleted what I needed to from there, though. Make all this coplanar, because it's going to drive me fucking bonkers if I don't. Just because I'll be able to see it. It's good for me. Sweet. Oh, somehow I got upside down again. There's our piston right there. It doesn't look like the SpaceX piston very much, but it is definitely a piston. By any chance, are they intersecting? I have a feeling they are. Let me zoom way inside and we'll go inside the system. I assume that they're Ooh, they're not. Would you look at that? So the spring would be wrapped around here and right there. And as this piston gets pulled apart, it would... Let me zoom out quite a bit. It would slowly make this shell come apart. Sweet. It's not at all like an actual piston, but it looks like it. Okay, so from there, let's delete guides, because absolutely. Next is... We've been going for almost an hour. I feel like next should be me smoking a bowl. I have not got a message yet, so I don't think I'm gonna get weed in the next hour or so, but that's cool. It means I can stream longer. Gonna definitely be a dead stream tonight. There is no denying that. I mean, chat has been completely dead. What should we go for next, then? I believe the next pistons actually connect onto this bar up here. Let me double check on that. Actually, they don't. Interesting. They connect to the same place. Well, that's gonna be weird. Uh-oh. I didn't realize that it was that far off. It means that if I push this down... Because those are under compression. So that would be pulled down. I'd have to angle all these parts to make it look semi-normal again to get the right size for the first one. This is acting almost as if I have no load on mine at all right now. And as weight goes onto it, that piston would expand to look closer to theirs, but I don't think it would actually get that amount of depth. Absolute best case scenario, I might be able to get this actually look legit. Absolute best case scenario, this thing would move probably like that far or so. Okay, well if I angle that, let's just try to make everything else work with those... Oh shit, I'm gonna have to re-angle everything. Can I make you into a single group and then you're still your individual objects? You are. Sweet. We take that. This is gonna be a lot of fidangling. A lot of fidangling. Let's unhide this bar. In geometry. Unhide. Because I'm gonna have to move it along with everything else. This is gonna suck. So let's try to make it match that piston. As much as this is going to be difficult, let's try to make it match that piston. I might want to smoke my bowl just for this part, because this is gonna be obnoxious. Can I see the other end of this bar? I can't. Well, can I see any form of... Not really. Son of a beach. Let me get a halfway mark on this. This is a 1/2 inch tall, right? It is indeed, so let's put 0.25. All bueno. This is where it gets a little ridiculous as I do this, but hey. That piston actually doesn't need to be moved up much. Sweet. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for that one. I didn't even realize it was in the middle. See, Tori, if you weren't here, I wouldn't have even noticed that. I hope it wasn't there for that long. Well, shit. I'm glad you told me. I wouldn't have even noticed. The chat's been so dead today that I haven't had any freaking communication. The whole reason I'm streaming is because I wanted to still talk to people today. Ah, okay, so that's where this is going to be forced to come in. So actually, this is going to be a little bit lower. I'm going to have to make all of this look right, but it's okay. We're just trying to get it estimated to make it like, if it was under load, what would it look like? Wow, that was a good guess right there on my part. Holy shit. I'm getting better at this. All right. See, would that even... That couldn't physically happen. Because in order for that to be pushed up, those bars would have to move. Those bars aren't compressing bars. Interesting. And this bar down here is also not a compressing bar. I wonder if we just need to make this bar longer. Because that would have definitely just locked it in place. Interesting. Let's do that. Let me move this. This is exactly why I wanted to test this out. I'm not smoking my bowl right now. The guesstimator, indeed. You think maybe less than 5 minutes? Well, cool. Thank you very much. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. Let's see here. If I move this back... to approximately that position. And then this one... I make longer, which is actually pretty easy. How much longer would I need it? See, it's odd to me. It's almost like this one would need to be a piston too in order for this to work. With this being so close, this would also have to be a pull-out piston in order, I believe, for that to be pushed down. That or these would have to compress. One or the other. Let me... I'm sorry, I'm gonna pop the image back up, but I swear I'm not gonna keep it there for long. No, they look solid. They're on pivots, which these are too. Very strange. I'm wondering where that extra compression comes from. Slow stream wasn't talking to the cleaning up after the iguanas. All good, primordialism. Indeed, it's a stupid slow stream tonight. Like, it's ridiculously slow. What's up, Buck Wild? Welcome back, bro. I don't see how that could physically work the way it's set up. That piston would have to be on the bottom, or the bar itself would have to have some form of compression. If the bar has compression, I'm not moving the model at all. It's okay. If this bar right here has compression, that works. If this gets is able to be pulled out, that works. But neither of those happens. And with rigid bodies like that, it's very... I think it's just the angle that I have it modeled at. It must be that. Because those physically won't line up under compression like that. Maybe I just pushed the compression too far. I wonder, if I bring this back... Let's say I move it back a quarter of an inch, I don't know. And then start fiddling around. That's still like half an inch of pull out on these, and these pistons shouldn't move much. Let's re-angle this. Is there any way that we can get these to actually line up? Now, it's still going to take a lot of fidangling. That's what I was expecting, but they should have lined up in general. Like so. Like so. There must be a part to this that I'm not getting. Oh yeah, that would actually fit. Maybe it was that I just overextended it. I extended it to the point that it would never have gone. I hope so. Try this one last time. This is what I was expecting with my guesstimation, is that I'd have to do it 3 or 4 times to get them to line up correctly. I don't know how I did it immediately that first time. That was crazy. Please. Please. Let me grab the center. There you go. That was obnoxious. This is looking great. Why, thank you. That's close enough. Now, does this bar... can it physically be moved inward? It looks like it can. I think that's exactly what happened, is I just pushed it further than it could have ever gone. Because that broke my brain there for a second. I was like, this thing should... Man... It still doesn't move. That bar physically has to pull. Let me look back at the image. Is that... No, I can't see it. Those look like hollow tubes. I'm looking for any other form of movable structure. As far as I can tell, well, they're all movable because they're all on joints. But as far as I can tell, that piston, that black piston, physically can't be pulled out. Like, with all of the rigid parts on it, there's gotta be an issue with the way I've got it locked in place. I just don't know where that issue is coming in. I wonder if these bars, these outer bars, have some form of compression to them. Something in this has to compress. If it doesn't, then there's too many rigid structures. It physically won't move. It would look cool, but it won't ever move. Like, even here. This thing, at its absolute lowest throw, would be something like in here. But let's say we'll move it in another 1/4 inch. This is still semi-expanded. Let's see if I can get that to look right at all. Theoretically, this bar has to expand, or these outer have to compress. Like, something has to move. And I'm thinking it's these. I just don't know how they would compress. Trying to think. I could make a channel down here where they connect to and have them move in and out of that channel, though that would be a pain in the ass. I could potentially add a sleeve like we did to our piston and make them where they can sleeve in and out like an inch or two. But there's physically gotta be something there that can compress, and I think I'm gonna do it to those arms. I just don't know how yet. Just physically, there's no way that this would work if there's not an extra level of compression somewhere. This rigid connection just wouldn't let it move. You're thinking that as well? Well then, let's try to edit these bars then. They would need to be smaller than they are currently. Like, if I take this in, I want to extend the edge like so. Let's extend it by 2 inches, because it really won't matter. If they compress, we can always put little springs in here or something. Like so. Now, I'm gonna delete all of these because it's not really gonna do us much good to have it there. I'm gonna turn this into a extended piece like so. Actually, let's make this 1.5 inches. Let me bring this back. Oops. Deselect that line, otherwise it's gonna be a problem. Where's here? About 1/2 inch. Because we want somewhere for our spring to sit. Or at least to compress into. Goodness gracious. Don't accidentally click off of the object when you're rotating. You will go off into Never Never Land. I think at this point I'd want to have an offset. Where's my offset? There we go. I'm so not used to using the offset tool. Say 1/32 of an inch. And then 1/16 of an inch. delete the lovely inner piece there and bring this up by, actually bring it down by half an inch first, and then bring it up by an inch and a half, 1.5. Sweet. Now that has a little bit of a piston to it. Let's reconnect all these lines, and it should magically look like something that will work. I may be a stoner, but I know what just physically doesn't work. This is going to be interesting how it chooses to make that square. That's what I was thinking. I'm going to have to turn that into a solid object, like so. I need to reverse that face. That doesn't need to exist anymore. Sweet. You want to smoke? Absolutely. Give me just a second, man. I wanted to make sure that these would all work. Oh, wait, hold on. They would need to be shorter than that, wouldn't they? I'd have to move this in, let's say... Goodness gracious. I have cotton mouth. I've been talking too much. Give me just a second. All good. Alright, let me take all of this. Like so. I might not have all of the pieces that I need. I might have to go inside there and check too. Into the model we go. Indeed. I had to grab that piece. Everything there looks like it's selected. What about on top? It is indeed. And the side is also. Sweet. You have to make sure you have it all selected if you're going to bring it in. Now, I also need to... I'm glad it doesn't deselect. I also need a line that I can bring this back with. Let's say... Since it has an 1.5 inch compression, let's bring it back an inch, and that's about it. Is that slamming into something? It is, but that's okay. I take it back. That's not okay. Damn it. It's too big now. Shit. Okay. Well then, if I move the whole thing over, I would then have to reposition this. Let's see how the fuck I'm gonna do this. This is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna delete all these lines again. We'll recreate it in a second. I could always make it bigger, but I'd rather not do that. I think I have a part that goes on the... No, that's it. I could make it bigger. I think that's my only option that's easy. Everything else would require a lot of remodeling. I'll smoke in just a second, Buckwild, I swear. I'm not leaving you hanging, man. Let's grab this. It's a very weird part. The printing on this is going to be strange as hell. Let's bring it out by 0.25, maybe? 1.25? Yeah, that's still more than enough. And then we can bring everything over. Line right here, please. Bring everything over by 1/8 of an inch. 1/8. I think that 1/4 inch is going to be needed, unfortunately. Yeah, let's just do 1/4 inch. It's going to make it a little bit weird, but... Or... I could mess around with some angles, but I think those angles would cause some problems. Let's... I'm curious. If I do some selective deleting right now, this is on purpose. Let's get rid of these lines. And I grab all of this. Like so. This is going to be interesting to see if it works. I don't think that's the axis I want it to rotate on. It's not. What happens if I angle this about 15 to... say 15 degrees. I take that back. Let's say 30 degrees. I'm still gonna have to manually pull these in. Give me a moment, because this is gonna be weird if it works. Like so. And then put this here. Put this here. Nice. No longer hitting a bar, even though it was kind of moved over. Sweet. Now let's get this set up. I believe that just fixed that whole problem. Assuming I can get this to... Oh, it's at an angle. You're gonna have to soften, smooth the edges or something to get that to where it works, coat cleaner. Well, I do believe that works. And that will allow in and out movement, supposedly. No, it's not. It's a good idea, but unfortunately it's going to put that in and out movement on that 30-degree angle. And if I have that 30-degree angle, it's not going to work as well. What a pain. How could I get that to work then? I think I have the exact right concept. I just need to have that angle already established, and I need to have the compression closer towards the bottom. I think I just need to do exactly what I did, just reverse it. Have this shell on the bottom portion, and have the angle pre-established through it, so we don't even have to worry about it. Okay, good. That's what I'm gonna do. Let's... It's not the answer to the words that I have kept inside, just the direction that I've chosen. Let's just pull it all away real quick. That was the first edit. Good thought. Didn't work as well as I wanted it to. You'll notice how I have that angle already on there immediately. We need to leave that angle there. We need to edit it from the exact opposite side. Oh well. Time to smoke now. Because after that long ordeal, we're basically gonna have to redo everything I just did, but on the bottom rather than the top. Which I'm not too concerned about. I mean, it's not like it's detrimental or anything, but it's a little bit of a pain in the ass. Ugh. And hopefully this will work, because the way it's set up, yeah, that would be in and out compression only, not angular compression. That's exactly what we need. Okay. Time to smoke. I only have one bowl of weed left, but that's cool. Sorry, you're gonna hear my keys rattling. I have to move them across the desk. Ugh. Sitting here doing this modeling all night got my shoulder sore, because I guess I was just tense all night or being in the same position for some reason. It might have been me working on the golf cart, but I don't think so. It doesn't feel like I pulled it or anything. It just feels like I held it in a really weird position, or I slipped on it funky. It might have been I slipped on it funky. I couldn't sleep for shit last night. I kept waking up like every hour. Went and go check on the printer, make sure it was still doing okay. You learn from your mistakes? Indeed. Smom! Alright, how big is this thing? Great, so that's not big enough. How big is it down? Half inch probably? Half inch, got it. So let's increase this a little bit. Was it 3/8? 3.75? No, it's actually smaller than that. Well, that's weird. Alright, let's turn it into a square. Midpoint. Like so.
I was afraid to love.
All bueno. Bring it up by a 1/16 of an inch, as per usual. Make it into a solid plane so we can actually mess around with it. Whoops. There we go. Now, this is a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. We could just have a 1/4 inch plunger. I don't know how I want to do that. Ah, I'm actually going to want to be bigger than this. Okay. Let's Control Z real quick. I would want to be approximately a 1/16 of an inch bigger than this on all sides. So let's just quickly measure that out. It's not going to let me do that easily. Hook to there. 1/16. Oh, that was incorrect. Control Z. Can I get it to lock? Nope. Doesn't want to lock. Fun. Why you be bitch? 1/16. This is not easy. Seriously. Why you be bitch? Extend edge. Not crazy. I'm actually making progress there. It was making me take the really long way around that for some reason. Extend the edge by another 1/16 of an inch. No idea if that's going to be accurate or not, and for some reason it won't let me use constrain. Got it. 1/16, and last. Bam. Now, that's gonna be a bitch, because we have to bring all of these up to 1/16 and make them all coplanar. Don't know why that was such a pain in the ass, but it's okay. Probably because I'm stunned. Oh, shit. Intersect faces with context. Become a normal object. Still not a normal object. Is there a... Yeah, there's a problem. That's inaccurate. Fun. What did that end up... I don't even care. It's just... Oh, I didn't extend it far enough. Gotcha. How big you? About 5'6", and 6'5", so I need to add another 1/8 inch over here. All good. In fact, I'm gonna do this the easy way, because I'm a genius. Not really at all. Boom. Alright, now let's make everything coplanar now that it's actually square. The most roundabout way I could have possibly taken to do that. Can you tell the bowl hit me? What do you know? It's a square. Took me fucking long enough. Now, we need that 1/16 of an inch inset. I deleted most of these lines, but I needed it to be a single one, so it's not a living pain in the ass to do this. There we go, 16. Now, extend that beach by... I had the whole shell at 2 inches, right, last time? Pretty sure. And then I had the throw only at like 1.5 or something like that. All good. I'm just cleaning this up for my OCD. Why you be bitch? Indeed. Oh, hello. Extra lines from... Whoops. Kind of need that one. Don't need the lines, but I kind of do need the side. Okay, that's fine. Since these are compressing, I don't have to have any form of pins in there to hold the spring. Okay. Let's see here. I guess let's turn all of this into a group on its own so I don't have to worry about it and I can print it on its... Shit. I'm gonna have to extend this to make it printable again. These are the little things that you think aren't that big of a deal until you actually have printed the object and you're like, fuck, I should have thought of that, and then it ends up being just a giant pile of melted plastic. I have to add some form of support, and the only way to do that is by turning it into semi-solid objects. Oops. There we go, and just so that I can print them from whichever direction I want. Technically, I should have deleted that inner line, but I'll have to do that before I print the model regardless. And I think that might have just dealt with it by cleaning up the outside. I completely forgot that that would be a legitimate reason why we should delete extraneous... that's a bad word. Can't use that right now. Extra lines. Extraneous. Okay. We need to have that piston in here. That's not the offset, is it? It is not. Cool. I knew something was off. Nope. I want it to be 1/8. Works for me. Now let's push this thing all the way down 1.5 inches. And now... should I change it into the same size? Most likely. So it doesn't look absurd, right? Speaking of looking absurd. Alright. Let me explode this group. And then select everything on the outside, turn it back into a group so that this inner piece is not part of it. Alright, now, how big is this thing on top? It's a 1/2 inch, right? It is indeedy, which I believe this is not. Yes, it's 375. In order for it to get to a 1/2 inch, it'd have to be this full size again? Nope. It has to be this inner size? Yes. All bueno. We can do that. Let's use the offset tool again. The amazingness that is. Or not, for some reason. I'll just manually do it. It's in a group that I'm not in right now, so I'm able to make that line. You need to find a way to make money online. You're sick of working day jobs? There's lots of ways to do it. I mean, I do it through Bitcoin. Bitcoin mining and trading, though it takes a lot of money to get that started. Let's see here. That is good enough for me. Actually, you know what? Does it really matter? If I connect from this inner line, this is just a test, but if I connect from this inner line to here, and from this inner line to the other one, is it gonna create a plane or does it not like it? Okay, fuck it. Who cares? I'll just let it be its own thing then. Will you be, bitch? Nope. One more and delete. There's a way to do that easily, but it just was fighting me. Probably because I'm stoned, if I'm being blunt. Right here. And then right here. And what do you know? We now have another piston piece. So I think I want to make that bottom part bigger. If I'm being honest. I don't like how big the piston itself is. Either make it bigger or smaller. To make it smaller, all I'd have to do is take the offset tool, bring this in by, let's say, 1/32nd, and then make this down. This is just going to be a very quick little edit. Offset down to there. Now delete this inner line. There we go. Delete. And make another offset. 1/16, because that's all I need my walls to be. Let's bring this up by 2 inches. Oh, that's always lovely. I'm gonna have to delete all those lines again. The walls will just be extra thick in this case. I don't want to deal with making that smaller. It'd be a pain in the butt. I'll just deal with a little bit of extra plastic. 2 inches. How much closer is that? That's a lot better. Is that still within reason? It is indeedy. And that's fully compressed right there. So I need to make this bar match when this thing is fully extended. Sweet. And I also need to turn that into its own group so that I don't have to worry. Cool. Let's delete this old one, because there is absolutely no need for it anymore. And I believe I can flip this around this center point, though I don't know how well that's going to work. We'll see. I have a feeling this isn't going to work well. Yeah, fuck that shit. Let me go off of this line right here. There we go. Now this is its own group, so it's not going to be caught on anything. Let's go toss this thing over on the other side. Once again, a little bit of a slow way of doing this, but I would rather do it manually than have a problem. Oops. Right like so. And it lined up. It lines up. That's exactly what I want. Sweet. There we go. So those are fully compressed. That would mean this thing has to be fully extended. And our full throw on this, I honestly can't tell you. Was about right there. So we're looking at like 3/8. Please get on that. Sweet. Constrained to that line. Yeah, we're looking at like 3/8. So let's do that. 0.3. Oops. 0.375. Try to keep putting an 8 in there for some. Oops. Good job. Please constrain to the line, you motherfuck. It really doesn't want to constrain to that line for some reason. 375. All good. And that is just barely there. That's perfect. That's full extension. Let's make everything line up. This bottom one particularly. And then extend this bar to match. Because at that point, it should be good. No. Wait, hold on. Do I want to extend this bar or that bar? Probably this bar. Yes. I'm very conflicted right now. I just honestly don't know how I want to make that work. I think I want to make this bar bigger. So in that case, let me make this one and this one match up. Bring this bar down. I know this is stupid, but it's a good way of testing it because it's physically moving the objects where you know that if they're going to work or not. It'd be nice if I had a center point here, but I don't. Do I have a center point up top? Not really. I guess it doesn't really matter. I just need to move it down. All good. Grab you. Sweet. I can line them up from there. You, I'm actually going to bring down because you're going to just be in the way for the moment. I don't know why I moved you first. Like so. Bring you down. Out of the way. Thank you very much. How's the progress? Pretty damn good. You got that shatter? Sweet. Getting baked?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I'll get some weed tonight, hopefully. Right, like so. Let's bring this down. Sweet. They're already within reason. That's why I think I want to change the other bar size. Something like so, maybe? Really, they just have to be close. As long as they're within reason and not like an inch and a half, 2 inches off, that's when you know something was wrong. That's how I knew there was definitely an issue on the last run. That's good enough for me. Sweet. So if we then take this, that's fully compressed and fully, there's going to be a problem with the amount of push and throw I have there, but this will give me a good estimate. We can always reprint these parts later. These parts are tiny. Compared to the big shell that I'm printing, whew, I don't want to be reprinting the shell. I somehow fucked that up. That's not good. I don't know when I did that. Shit. Was that it? It was good. That was about to be a problem. That's why it's gotta be purple. Purple, pink, whatever. Do that again. What a pain in the ass. It's hard to fix those corrections manually. That's why I step back time rather than, nope, it's not purple. There we go. Same exact problem was about to happen. I think it was like right there, so. And then move this back up. But this is with pretty much full weight, quote unquote, on it, and we'll see what it looks like. This doesn't look like it's perfectly lined up anymore either. That's gonna be fun. Just get close enough that I can make it work. Good enough. Now, how far is this fucker off? Because I have a feeling it's pretty damn far off. So, rotate. Indeedy. Oh, look, it wouldn't even be able to do that either. I'd need to extend the pegs. Interesting. Which makes me think that it'd never actually get to that level of throw. Almost like this should be shorter, as counterintuitive as that sounds. If this part should be shorter and this part should be longer, which would make it match more real life. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Let's just see how hard it is to grab. Oops, that's gonna be the wrong place to grab that from. If I grab all of that, and I have a nice little line here to go back and forth on. Does it let me? No. Is it because I'm missing something? Or is it because I've got too many things? Probably grabbed too many parts. Let me grab the selection tool again. We'll only go that far this time. Actually, I think what I need is to box it off. I'll figure it out. Let's see, can we move this down? Yes, but yeah, that's exactly it. I need to box it off. It's not gonna like me doing that. And with this, we'll be able to select every part except for this top piece. Oops. Always sucks when you accidentally click off your part. Oh bueno. And we can always remove the lines later, but it helps us actually move it. Make this, whoa. What in the hell is going on there? Let's change that line a little bit. Let's just move it way further up so I don't have to worry about the weirdness. Not sure where that came from. Not gonna try to figure it out. There, I'm gonna have to do a 90-degree here. What a loveliness. Thank you. For some reason it wasn't letting me just do a straight parallel line. It was then. Gotta love it when it doesn't highlight for some reason. Blue. Jump it onto. God damn it. Shit. Clicking in infinite space and suddenly you're in Never Never Land. Okay. Now, will it let us do it? Third time's the charm, right? It still seems to be fucking up. If I just select the lines, I think it's the plane. Because I'm moving the plane, it's not allowing it to resize. God damn it, SketchUp. There we go. I wish you could force focus on your object. Like triple click or something to lock it. But yeah, of course that'd be a pain in the ass for them to program. Oh, and I'm also moving the line in which we're moving this thing across. It's always fun. It works, but we're gonna have to do it from different position up. So I'm gonna have to basically just box it up here. Got it. I was wondering what was going on there. If we box it from up there, we can extend, or make that box in the center small. Ooh, another good song. You see nothing? What do you mean you see nothing? There's stuff all over. Jesus, please. Give me my part back. Thank you. Will it let me do it now? Third time's the charm? Finally. Okay, so we're gonna want to move this back maybe. Let's see if we can push it back 3/8. I don't think it's gonna like that. I don't think the model will actually work very well with that. Let's see here. I don't want to bring this down a lot. Or no, the throw's just going to be off. I think this is overthrown. Let's bring this up about a 1/4 of an inch. That's still a 1/2 inch throw on that piston, which is quite significant. That's the small moving piston. Let's take that, rotate it around. If I could get it to force into the center, that's what I need. Thank you. bring this down to where potentially we could get this thing to lock on. Made a reference to Logan's Heroes. Do you think that's what it is from? Oh, no idea. Sorry, I didn't get the reference there. Why is this? Why you be bitch? I need purple, and I need you in the center. There we go. Honestly, I wasn't that far off with that line. Yep, it still seems to be overthrown still. We might have to extend the prongs on this or make the well deeper. I'm just not certain on how I want to do that yet. Like if I went from... I would want it to be a solid line. Yeah, I definitely don't want to make the well deeper there. How would I want to do this? I'm trying to think how I can make this work without intersecting objects. We don't want to make this piston, let me zoom out and explain it. We don't want to make that piston have a shorter throw than about a 1/2 inch. That is going to be the pull piston, but we want to make sure that has about a 1/2 inch of throw. If not more, it'd be better. But as we get that... I guess what I could do... Okay, I think I know. I think I figured it out. I'm going to have to print this in a very specific way. But that's okay. Oh shit, I didn't like that. Okay, let's just manually go through, delete these lines. These are the ones that I added earlier so that we could print it. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to print this from a very specific side. Can I just do this to recreate those walls? Pretty damn close. Do that to recreate that. Nice. Give me just a moment. Like so, and like so. If this is the top of the print, it's fine if it's a flat overhang. That's not a problem. I take that back. Son of a bitch. We can't do overhangs like that. I might have to turn these into multiple parts and screw them or bolt them together, because I can make... Or we're going to have to force them to be cylinders. Something. These pistons are going to be insanely hard to print because the square, there's always an overhang one way or another. How's the printing going? It's doing pretty good. It's on its second piece now. I don't think you were along for it, so this is the third time I've shown this, but it's okay. Let me move my microphone again so I can scream into it properly and everyone will be able to hear me. My toesies. So, this is the first print, and it was actually pretty good. This is only about 3 inches tall. Sorry, the white balance is all over the place. It's only about 3 inches tall, 3.5 inches tall. But this will be the bottommost piece, and the camera's trying desperately to focus on it. You can tell that it actually printed really freaking well, and it's insanely strong. So, I'm happy. I'm quite happy. It's like the third time that I beat the crap out of that thing in this stream. Flip the camera back over. But speaking of the prints, that's where this is going to get difficult, are these overhangs. I'm not certain how the fuck I'm going to print it. You know, if I printed it at a slight angle, it would never have an overhang. That might be what I have to do. I might have to have... Okay, that's This is gonna get interesting very quickly. And I'm gonna have to do a little bit of editing. First off, these lines are completely inaccurate. And I can delete a couple more of these. Whoops. Is that a whole curve? It is indeed. Let's not delete that. Delete these lines. That work? No. Is this the... Stop it! What a pain in the butt. I'm gonna start screaming at my computer in a moment. Just stop it! Stop it! I think it's this one that I'm gonna have to actively connect. Was that the one I had? No. We had the one... Yeah, below that. Okay, so Control Y, everything that I just did. There was a reason it looked off. Intersect with context. Drives me crazy when it decides to do that just spontaneously. Now, can I delete this line? I can indeed. Can I delete that line? Nope. Got it. Then let me take this loveliness right here. Toss you right there. Toss you right there. And I'm going to have to do another intersect with context. I can almost guarantee you. Intersect with context. Flip that out and delete that. Sweet. That object theoretically is printable now, but we would have to print it on that angle. This angle right here. If it's not on that angle, it's not going to print, period. It has an overhang, and it's not physically possible to do that overhang. It's going to be interesting. What am I making? I'm making a rocket, Toby. Well, it's upside down right now. A magic beanstalk. Okay, so with that, voila! It looks a little bit less fancy, but it definitely solved our movement issues. So we can now move that further in and make it match the other... All bueno. All of that had a purpose. I wasn't just being a crazy person. Let's put it right there. And we made that part printable. That's the main thing, is that we have to make sure that everything is printable. If it's not printable, then I've kind of screwed myself. Please lock to the center. Why you no lock? That's not purple. There we go. Purple, pink. Whatever. I'd argue that works good enough for me. Nope. I was hoping that vibration was somebody coming to give me some weed, but unfortunately, no. Let's bring this out just a hair more and then extend the other piece, and we're golden. Most people are gonna think, with me like getting all these angles right and stuff, they're gonna be like, oh, so you're just doing a game model or something. No. Alright, let's get this angled in properly. This is already thrown all the way. That's all fully compressed. Because there's gonna be 3 compression springs and then 1 pull spring, the setup that we have. That's a lot of springs. I'm glad, because this thing's probably going to weigh something like 20, 30 pounds, and we're going to want a lot of bounce. We want it to be able to take a little bit of an impact. Well, I guess let's just angle it and then... For some reason, I'm just having doubts. Get approximately lined up correctly and then make it, what, an inch longer or something? Well, we could, actually, I'll make it a little bit longer than we need, and I'll have the other legs get pulled out so that we can set the compression springs where they're not fully bottomed out by the time that the big piston's pretty much bottomed out. How do I want to do this? I'm gonna need to have it boxed off so that I can change the inner part. I'm glad my computer can stream and do all the modeling at the same time. You building a landing leg? I am indeed. That's it there. Now we just have to have some form of square in the center. We have to be able to extend it from some point. If you don't, then it stretches parts, and you don't want that to happen. Stretching is not good. That works in point. Sweet. Now, how does it want me to stretch this? Oh. I'll just do that. And then deselect everything. Doesn't work as well as I was hoping. Damn it. Sweet. Give me my guide point, please, because I'm gonna need one. And extend this puppy down by... How far should this... Let's say a full inch at first, and see if I can even make that look reasonable. Because at first it's gonna be weird. Let's not move those at the same time, because this is going to be a pain in the butt to get all compensated. I'm pretty sure that would work just fine, because we have the compression springs. Actually, let's bring it down by half an inch. It's close, but no. We do want them to almost bottom out at the same time. Close, but no cigar. Grab these. Oops. Deselect the guideline because I kind of need the guideline in order to move it up and down. Move it up half an inch again, and this should almost look correct. Indeed. It's almost there. It needs to be extended just a hair more. Looks like approximately 1/8 of an inch. Just double check these. Actually, it's almost 1/4 of an inch. Or over 1/4 inch. Let's do that then. And at that point, we should be good. Oh my god. If you don't click on the part, it sends you to Never Never Land. All good. Deselect the select line, because once again, we're going to need that. Move it back down 0.25. And that, theoretically, should be about right. It doesn't have to be perfect, because in real life, it's going to be a moving part, so it's okay. There are going to be quite a few variables that will allow for that to move around a little bit. So that almost looks too far. How did I get 0.25 off of that? Oh, I bet I measured... Ah. That was my bad. Let me move it like a 1/16 of an inch rather than that 0.25. Like so. 1/16. I think I just moved that backwards. No, I didn't. It just looked like it for some reason. Is that closer? That is as close as I need it to be. I am quite happy then. At that point, both these pistons on the sides are completely compressed. This thing is almost fully extended. That's good. That's perfect. And now we're gonna have another piston in the top. So I'm not exactly sure where this one's gonna connect to. We might need to add another bracket to the center, because we have a piston that goes from the top pieces there in. Honestly, I think we have enough. If I'm being blunt, I don't think we need that last piston. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So right now, what we've been modeling is the black piston on the far right. It doesn't look perfect, but that's what we've been trying to get. There's a small blue piston above that I don't think we really need. That's extra compression in, but we already have more than enough compression in now from our sides. I have a feeling that their side poles have a little bit of movement in and out, but most of their sideways compression comes from that blue hydraulic piston you see. We're not going to have that blue hydraulic piston, and we have... Let me pull this image off before I forget about it. We have these giant springs that are going to be here that should produce more than enough bounce. And we can always add them later, so I think that's good. I think we're going to call it there, because that's not the whole stream, but I think that's what we're going to call for the landing leg, because that looks damn close, and it's going to be functional. And printable. That's a big deal. So I think we're good there. I think that's okay. What else do we want to tackle for tonight? I've been streaming for 2 hours. By any chance? No, I used all my weed. Did I clear the bowl? Yeah, I cleared the bowl. Damn. Well, I can't smoke anymore tonight, but what else would we want to tackle on the stream? I don't think I really want to mess on the turbojet itself. The turbojet, the fan blades, the stator blades, all that stuff. First off, this is inaccurate because I'm going to have to actually add depth to these blades. The way they are now, it would not be nice. I don't know. I think I'm going to hold off on that until we have the actual rocket built, because I'm going to have to figure out the weight of the rocket to figure out the engine. If the rocket is going to weigh 20 pounds on its own, with like just the shell of the rocket weighs 20 pounds, we're going to have to get a very, very efficient engine. And that's not an electrically driven turbine. That's a legit, like, turbojet engine that I'm going to have to figure out how to add combustion to without actually adding heat, which means it's not going to be combustion, it's going to be compression, and I don't know how I'm going to add that compression without combustion. without using a heater core and liquid nitrogen and stuff like that, which would require more space in this rocket than I would have if I had just a giant turbojet running off an electric motor. It's all dependent. I don't know yet. Once we start getting all of these parts built and actually printed out, printed out and then built, I should say, that makes more sense, then I'll be able to make the turbojet and decide, but I just don't know yet. But I think we're good. I like this so far. It's looking damn good. We have all of these in their individual components. We even have them individually grouped out so that we can component them out and print them individually. You'll notice these lines down here. I made it where these long legs are actual independent parts because they were so long I wasn't going to be able to print them on the printer. This, I believe, is something like 10 inches, 8 inches. That's easily printable. 14 inches, 13 inches, not printable unless I did it vertically. And if I did that entire leg vertically, that would be interesting to say the least. I don't want to be doing that. Instead, we're going to do it long ways to prevent it from fracturing. And the hole that I'll have inside here, I'm not certain how deep it's going to go. I have it only modeled for a 1/2 inch deep hole. We might drill that out and make it a lot deeper so that I can put a rigid bar in there or something to support these legs a little more, just in case they're flexing a little bit too much. Like I said, I don't know how big this rocket, or how much this rocket is actually going to weigh. I know how much it's going to, or how big it's going to be. I just don't know how much it's going to weigh. Right now, just the outer shell, these parts, though there is one missing, there's supposed to be 6 of these, just these parts are gonna weigh, I think, 1 pound a piece, so that's gonna be about 6 pounds of plastic. And then all of this bejesus, along with I'm gonna try to make these things as hollow as possible, but our fake air canisters that are on the bottom, making it look as legit as possible. It's gonna be interesting, to say the least. It's looking very nice indeed. Why, thank you. I'm very happy with this. I'm not putting it up like... my skills are amateurish at best. I love the fact that this is working relatively well. A lot of these models I do still have to go into. For instance, here, if I zoom all the way in, you'll notice there's an object here. That should be hollow. Like so. And then on the other side, that should be hollow. Like, I'm gonna have to go through and do that on everything so that it properly prints out. But I'm not gonna do that on stream. That's something I get baked as hell and do on my own. What do we want to tackle tonight? We could always duplicate the pieces to make it look more legit. Really, it's just gonna add extra effort to my CPU, but hey, let's see what it looks like if I duplicate all these parts out. There's so many of them. Good lord. That's all the progress I've done today, pretty much. If you count last night being today, which I do, considering I was up until like 4 a.m. Is there anything else I need? Nope, that's it. Let's rotate that around the center. I can't remember who told me that you can rotate and then do a ×3 or something like that. It would not let me do that. I like this song too. This is by Tryhard Ninja, I believe. He is a YouTube creator. And then let's take these parts and move them on down. There we go. That's starting to look pretty damn legit, I have to admit. When we take these parts and move them over, it's getting there. This is pretty damn cool. And that's under full compression. So technically those landing legs will fold in a little bit as it lifts off. This is looking fucking cool. I am very stoked. Well, sweet. What else could we tackle tonight? I think that's pretty much it, if I'm being perfectly honest. We have almost got every single part of this thing built except for the core. And I can't start working on the core until I have, for instance, the RC motor. I don't know how big that's going to be. I think that was supposed to show up today, but go figure. I need that. I need to know if we're going to actually have an electrically driven turbine, if we're going to have pneumatically compressed turbine, basically. I don't know how we're going to do that. Night Runner, it doesn't work. I was just saying that. You were the one who told me yesterday. I tried that earlier. It literally doesn't work. There must be like a special order of operations that I'm not doing. Like, I've tried it where the part was already placed and I did ×3, and I did it where that part 90 degrees ×3, and it still didn't work. For some reason. Don't ask me why. But I did try it. I took your advice, I did try it. But it's looking fucking good. And this isn't me just patting myself on the back, though it kind of sounds like I should shut up. What else should we do tonight? Like, the only thing we could really mess with extra is the servo motors, but once again, I don't know what servo motors we're going to use to actually control these thrust vectoring plates. Until we get this thing actually starting to, like, its parts printed out, and motors starting to show up and everything else, I have very little left to do. Man, I thought this was going to take a lot longer to do. I feel really accomplished. Well, unfortunately, that means we do have to call it quits on the stream. I didn't want to, because I was still wanting to do some more modeling, but unless we started working on the turbojet, which like I said, I don't really want to do, because I'd have to completely remake this for one. I think my dimensions are off, because I'm going to want to start smaller than a single inch, and then I have my list of dimensions for all of my stator blades, the number of blades I'm going to need, all of the angles, and all of that shit on a different piece of paper, but I have to edit those because I think I'm going to be trying to make the center core of the engine a little bit more narrow, but also have it narrow even more from the outside. If you know how a turbojet happens, it's compressing the air, and as it compresses, the chamber in which it compresses in gets smaller and smaller. And I need to have as small of a chamber as possible, as close to the center as possible, so that I have a large outer area to work with to throw a lot of electronics into. All that shit, I'm not certain on yet. I don't know exactly what the dimensions are, so I think we're going to be done for the night. Well, I thank you, Buckwild. I really do appreciate it. If I could, I'd smoke a bowl with you guys, but I already smoked my 2 bowls. I am officially out until somebody shows up and brings me some more weed. So thank you all so much for watching tonight, and I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully with an actual video game.